Well, it's around 6 a.m. and it's another moon-filled morning. Check it out. It's just incredible. And I guess I lied. I said the last video I shot would be the last one I do on the porch, and I got up this morning and there was just more to talk about. Elvis has left the building. Elvis has left the building. Elvis always left the shows in a hurry. There was always another town to go to, a plane to jump on, sometimes a bus to get on, and another crowd to entertain. You would literally hear Elvis has left the building moments after he left the stage. I was very lucky. As a little kid, I was a huge Elvis fan. And I got to see him twice. Imagine that. You know, that's like going to see Jimi Hendrix or Led Zeppelin in their prime, or, you know, any number of acts. You know, we're lucky, us old guys, that we've gotten to see legends in their prime. Not these tours now where it's a cash grab and the seats are $600 and you're not sure if they're actually singing or not. No, back in the glory days, you heard them on good nights, you heard them on bad nights, but you heard them. What you see was what you got. Now, I had recently gone to my wife, you know, with my wife and daughter, and my wife wanted to see Tim McGraw again. And so I found some nosebleed tickets because, man, those tickets were steep. And I bought her some tickets, bought us tickets for the show. And, you know, I was prepared to, you know, not really, wasn't really interested in going. I'm not a fan of that formula country. I can't stand it when I'm in the car with her and she's got the country music. She always has the country music on. And, you know, I'm from the South, she's not. And I can't stand that nasally, whiny voice that they use. You know, I was backstage one time with, you know, one of the wedding bands I played with, and I told them, I said, you know, these were mostly black guys, you know, and I said, man, I can't stand it when my wife plays that stuff. I don't know why those guys sing like that. I said, Elvis didn't sing like that. Elvis didn't sing with a whiny voice. He you know, gradually became a baritone. You know, I think he probably kind of started out as a tenor. And as time goes on, you know, your voice gets lower, your voice gets deeper. But he never sang with that nasally, whiny, mid-range, like a blade. But the Tim McGraw concert, I found it very entertaining. But the whole time I'm watching it, I wasn't sure whether I was watching a machine or watching a human being. They were able to morph the visual with all kinds of TikTok style graphics, and he was hitting notes I'm not sure he could have hit in his prime. Tim's never been known as the world's greatest vocalist, but he's done one better than Elvis did. He's kept himself in shape, and he goes out and does his little dance and does his little poses, and the crowd loves it. So, respect to him. I'm just not sure what I was hearing was real or not. Even sometimes it felt like what I was seeing wasn't real. But it was a good show. Elvis has left the building. Always, when I'm done with the show, I am out of there. Whether it was on the road, people think, you've got all these roadies and that you're not really doing any work. But, unless you're with a major artist, you're almost a roadie and a musician at the same time. And we would have to cap our gear at the end of the night. So right after the crowd sees you play your last note, the ones that stick around see you putting the lids on your gear, packing your guitars up, and sometimes helping get the gear off the stage. Even huge shows with Eric Church, I would make sure I helped get the gear, roll it off the stage, so that Eric could come on and do his show. I mean, that's who people really came to see. Elvis has left the building. So I'm waiting today. The movers are coming that are moving the stuff that we're not taking immediately. And, so I got one more morning on this porch. I'm not sure when this is going to post, because I've got to get down to Florida, set up the computer, edit, do the thumbnail, all that nonsense. But just yesterday, and today is Tuesday. So Monday morning, a punk rock band was getting ready to go on the road, and they were in their travel vehicle. The details, I read the article and just was so disgusted with what happened that I really couldn't even continue to read it. But the bass player, seemed like an affable young man, was gassing up their vehicle. I guess everybody was probably inside. And they were getting ready to go on the road. And he went to the gas station. He was gassing up the vehicle. And some lunatic came out of the woods and began stabbing him in the head. Now, I'll give this guy credit, because he fought the guy off, and the guy took off. But now the tour is no more, and he was dealing with the stab wounds and brain bleed that he was suffering from this attack. Now, Nashville's been kind of soft on some things, and soft on crime in some cases, soft on allowing extreme drug use in homeless camps. And I get it, man. I've been very close to homeless myself. you have to have some compassion for these people, but it's unsafe. It's unsafe. We're not talking about the 60s here and people smoking a little grass. We're talking about extreme drugs that make people do extreme things. And, even my wife, in one of my previous houses, because we've moved quite a bit around this town, and we know a lot of the areas and the ups and downs that can go with those areas. And she was out walking the dog, and crazy person came out of the woods from the homeless camp and scared the bejesus out of her. Person had open wounds on their arm, bleeding. My wife, was just trying to walk the dog, and, is hitting her up. Hey, you got any money? Can you give me some money? So, needless to say, we had to get out of that neighborhood. Nothing was going to be done until the developers decided they wanted to build in the green space that we had across the street. Until the developers drove the homeless out. Nobody helped those people. They were just allowed to do whatever they wanted to do in the woods, and city did nothing. Didn't help them, didn't stop them, and the soft on crime policies didn't help anyone. So this guy, this bass player, is about to embark on what would be a completely epic event. I guess they were a punk rock band. I didn't even know that really existed anymore, except for that fake punk, that pop punk stuff. It says they were a punk rock band, and man, he was probably getting ready to put that gas in there, and eyes filled with wonderment, and ready to hit the road and see what was out there. Try to launch his band, sell some merch. Some lunatic put an end to it. I hope he's okay. He's lucky. He's lucky he was able to fight him off, because, when you're pumping gas, man, and I tell my wife this, I tell anyone this, you got to watch your you-know-what at all times. And that's something I learned a long time ago, being from a small town and moving out to Los Angeles. Sometimes I would decide I'm going to walk down to 7-Eleven and, get dessert. And just a few feet out of my door, all of a sudden some lunatic would spot me and, hey man, you got my pipe, and start running after me and chasing me. And I'm in Hollywood, and I was just trying to walk to the 7-Eleven on Sunset, because I lived right around the corner from it. And now I'm running, and I'm running away from a crazed maniac who thinks I have his pipe. Sorry, bro. I don't have your pipe, but I don't have time to rationalize with this guy, because that could all be a ruse. That could all be just an excuse to get me to stop and talk to him. And the conversation might not go as I would like. So I chose not to stay and conversate. I chose to flee. And there's nothing wrong with running to avoid confrontation. he was way bigger than me. I was just a kid. So I took off, and I outran him. And I got inside the 7-Eleven, and I stayed in there a long time. I came out when I thought it was safe and made it back. But man, you gotta watch, yo. You know what? You gotta watch it. Elvis has left the building. So I'm out of here, man. It's gonna be surreal pulling out of here tomorrow morning. I plan on leaving before the sun comes out. As soon as I can get up and feel that I've got enough rest and enough strength to pull off the drive, I'll be rolling out of here. You know, a lot of people like to talk about politics, and they chime in on my channel, oh this or oh that, and you know, man, I don't think anyone's coming to save the common man. You're looking at somebody that's lived through a lot of different administrations. My first memory of a president was seeing Nixon stepping down, giving that dual peace sign, and hopping on a helicopter and leaving Washington. That was the first thing I remember. But I certainly heard about JFK. And I think he was a great president. And I think he was trying to do right by the common man. And he got taken out. So I don't think putting all my chips on any roulette color or roulette wheel is going to save my you-know-what. I can hope for the best. Let's hope for the best. That's what we do. Each day we get up and we hope that it's a good day. And that's what I hope that it is for you. And I hope if these are the last words that you hear from me, and they won't be, you know, but you never know. Things can happen. If these are the last words, I want to wish you the best. And I want to wish you that you can persevere no matter what, because that's what I've done. Elvis has left the building.